I'd like to also share with you what keeps people from going into tech sales, from my experience. And I have no doubt that a lot of the people on the call here might be thinking one or two of these what I call the sales myths as well. These are the most common misconceptions that I come across in tech sales, and I want to have a closer look at each of them just very briefly. At first, so there's a myth that there's very limited opportunity for career growth in sales in general, but especially in tech sales, that is so not true. I will show you. The second myth, you don't make much money in sales. In tech sales, you really do. You need to know how to code or have a technical degree. Guess what? You don't. Sales is repetitive and boring. I will talk about this. Salespeople manipulate and annoy people for their own gain, not in tech sales. Or I need to be an extrovert to do sales well. Also this, I believe, is a myth. Let's play some Mythbusters. Number one, there's very limited opportunity for growth in tech sales. 15% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies started their career in tech. That is higher than any other profession. That is higher than any other department. Some notable people who started their career in tech sales are Mark Cuban. He's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks and a very famous investor on Shark Tank, if you like the show. He became from being a software salesman to a billionaire by the age of 41. Howard Schultz, he's the former CEO of Starbucks. He started selling Xerox at 25 and became CEO of Starbucks by 35. Xerox is copy machines for those of you that are a bit younger. Sarah Blakely, she's the founder of Spanx, one of the youngest female billionaires ever, I believe. And she was selling door-to-door fax machines and became founder and owner of Spanx with a net worth of over $1 billion. Warren Buffett, investment guru and investment legend. Most people don't know, but he started in selling. He started in selling securities and is now one of the richest men in the world. People who start in sales have great opportunities for growth because you will see later, you learn fantastic skills in sales. And from there, you can go into a lot of different directions. Your career can grow into different directions. You can go into the marketing area. So focus on market research. You can go a bit more what we call top of the funnel that I showed earlier, where you focus more on research of trends or case studies, these kind of things. And from there, you can become marketing manager, marketing director, VP of marketing, and you can become a CEO. You can also go into human resources. So you can start helping to recruit. So you can go into into recruiting, talent manager, director, VP, and then again, you can also become a CEO. These routes are not nearly as likely, though, to becoming a CEO as the main and center route over here, which is the sales route. Going from a sales development representative to an account executive to sales manager, sales director, VP of sales, CEO. A lot of CEOs you will see have a background in sales. Why? Because they focus on the thing that matters the most to the business. How to bring revenue, how to grow. No sales, no revenue, no business. You will hear me say that a lot. It is the very key and very core of what every business does. You might also choose to go into the route of the customer success. So rather than focusing on working with new customers, you focus on your existing customers. Or you might also go into sales enablement. This is the team that works together with customer success and sales to see how they can support them, how they can help them work on the systems, on the operations, on the materials, all these kind of things. There are a lot of different areas that you can get into if you have a background in sales. I will explain a bit later why that is the case, but the key thing is that in sales and in particular in technology sales, you learn incredibly useful skills that matter anywhere in life. Myth number 2, you don't make much money in sales. That also is not true. So The graphic over here is coming from PayScale. Tech sales roles have significant incentives for overachieving targets, and salespeople are often the highest paid individuals in technology companies. Why is that the case? Because technology products are often expensive. And if a company is doing well, selling an expensive product, it gives a significant commission to the people who have helped to sell it. And that is why it's possible to earn very, very high salaries in technology sales. Funnily, you often have sales managers or account executives that are making more money than their managers, sometimes than their managers' managers, because they're doing so well in bringing the product to the market. The reason why it is so relevant, why they make so much money from it, is that I'm not just selling, I don't know, a book or an apple or even a vacuum cleaner, but I'm selling products that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I can get a small commission for selling this, which is still worth a lot of money for me. So a lot of people that are looking to make sure that their family is well looked after, that want to make sure that they can live a very good life, find that they can realize this in technology sales. Myth number 3, you need to know how to code or have a tech degree to work in technology or technology sales. I do not have a technology degree. I do not know how to code. No coding required, no technical degree required. What you do need are curiosity, a drive for success, a willingness to learn, and to build a career, and have an open mind. That is all you need. One of our great people in Insider, who is now a sales director in Indonesia, was selling furniture in Bali about 5 years ago. He is now incredibly successful, has a team of people, works in Jakarta, and is doing incredibly well. And he did not have he did not know how to code or anything like this. What you do need is the right mindset. And we will talk about this much more in the psychology of sales session and go more through it. Myth number 4, sales is repetitive and boring. Yes, if you let it become boring and repetitive. Successful sales is always creative and challenging, especially in technology sales, because the product solves a different need or a slightly different need for every company. You always need to be creative to think about how to use it to help this specific customer. Every company buys in a different way. There are different people with different personalities and different objectives. And you need to make sure that you are talking to all the right people, make sure they all see the value so that you can move ahead. Successful sales keeps learning and researching their customers. The best people are the ones that have done their homework, they already know, have great ideas before they even go into the meeting. Successful sales does not just go up to someone and say, okay, let me try to sell this to you. No, successful sales has done the research and knows, hey, this company in this industry has this problem, most likely. So this product, this module that I have here can hopefully help them. So let me talk about this with them. Successful sales finds innovative way to network and to prospect, like finding new ways on how you can connect with people, be it through friends or groups or networks or whatever it is. So you constantly find new ways. We always use the newest tools on LinkedIn, Zoom Info, Lucia. There's great sales automation nowadays that can be used in order to make your reach out more creative, but at the same time also easier and more efficient. And successful sales constantly evolves. You never stagnate. You always ask yourself, what can I do differently? What can I do better? How can I improve? Successful sales understands the customer is a different customer every single time. So you will not look at someone, yeah, you are exactly like my last guy, you take the same thing again. You always start with the customer. You always listen out. You always ask your questions. All right, explain to me, where are you? What are your challenges? What are you trying to achieve? Find how you can help. You're consultative. You're not pushing. Successful sales treats each interaction as a new challenge. You always ask yourself, how can I add more value in this next interaction? How can I make this pleasant and useful for the other person? So successful sales is repetitive and boring if you let it be. If you let it just be the same thing every time, you just repeat. Some things you will learn as best practice, of course, and you will repeat this. You will take this, you put this into your toolkit, you know, this works, great. I'm going to repeat this. Now let me try out something new. It's like when you learn how to play a sport. When you have found a good way of doing something, you keep doing it this way, but that does not stop you from learning something else, from trying something else. Myth number 4, sales manipulates / annoys people. And the sad truth is that that really is the case for a lot of terrible salespeople. Tech sales does not do this. Tech sales helps people find a solution. Tech sales is not about pushing something on someone. It's about helping people find a solution. It's about identifying the right customer. Rather than going to 10 people and try to sell each of them what I have, I ask myself, who of these is actually interested in what I have? It's the same as if you were, let's say you are selling diapers for babies and you have a teenager in front of you and you have 2 parents in front of you. You should focus on the parents, like, hey, would these diapers be interesting for you? Because, well, you have a kid. You go to the teenager, well, you know, maybe they have a brother or a sister. It makes sense. But you focus on the one where you know that there's a right customer. You ask the right questions to understand, and then you offer your product as a solution. You focus on the value that you create, not on the features that you have, not on what you want. You always focus on what the customer wants. And you educate your prospects. You educate your customers. You allow them to learn something new. You let them get insights. They will see more, they will understand more after every interaction that you have. Maybe your product solves a problem that they don't even know that they have. Maybe they don't know that they could actually save a lot of money on electricity and gas if they were starting to use some solar panel solution. We educate the prospects so that they can make an educated decision. And good sales is patient and waits until the time is right. Maybe my solution is good for you, but not now. Maybe you are too small at the moment. I have this many times. I talk to customers, potential customers, and they're excited about the product. They say, oh, Patrick, I want to use this. And I tell them, guys, this is not relevant for you at the moment. I recently had this with a friend who wanted to use our email platform and the web personalization platform and something else. And I told them, look, start with the email platform for now. Once you have more people come to the website, you can use the other product. Make sure that it adds value for the customer over time. Otherwise, an unhappy customer will talk badly about you or will maybe not talk about you at all. A happy customer will refer you to their friends, to their network, and will give you an opportunity to help somebody else as well. And that's exactly what long-term relationship building is about, right? So, and that's at the core of successful long-term sales. And I believe in what I call sales karma. Sales karma means that you do the right thing for the customer. Maybe you don't get the immediate deal today. Maybe you don't get the sale today. But you will, because of this, get the sale tomorrow and next week and next month and next year, because you've built those relationships over time. All that said, sales is still persistent. And this is something that you will learn over time as well. I will follow up with each of my prospects very persistently until I learn that it's not relevant for them, or until I learn that it is relevant for them. I don't give up. I never give up. On average, I think it takes, I think a closed deal on average takes at least 13 interactions, if not more, with a customer. So you have to be persistent to continue the conversation. But be helpful. Make sure that you are talking to the right people, focus on the value, make sure you give them, that you educate them, be patient and build a long-term relationship so that you can really add value for them. And then you will not be manipulating and annoying people. As much as that's the case for a lot of traditional sales. And we all know this, the people that just, maybe they call you and you can barely say hi and they start talking about, hi, this is Patrick and I'm calling to sell you a new phone plan because your phone plan is probably not very good. So let me tell you about all the benefits and the features of this great phone plan that I have. Like, I'm having dinner right now. Can you please leave me alone? That's terrible sales. That's not what we do. But we focus on what is the value for them, how to do this kind of call and how to make sure that we don't annoy people. That's something that we will learn at a later stage in time. But that is how it's supposed to be. That's why good sales and that's why tech sales is helping and focusing on the value. The last myth, I need to be an introvert to do sales well. Somewhat correct for traditional and simple sales, but not the case for technology sales. A lot of critical skills that help you in technology sales are often found with introverts. Active listening, rather than just talking all the time and you will never be able to convince someone to buy a $100,000 product by just shouting at them all the time and trying to, they will not buy just to shut you up. So you need to have active listening skills, really understand what they're looking for, ask the right questions. Finding creative solutions to problems is something that introverts are often very good at because they take a bit more time, think a little bit longer about what they try to achieve and how they can solve something. And they also often have discipline and persistence. I know a lot of extroverts that are very bubbly and they talk a lot, and then they easily lose interest and they go to the next thing and the next thing. But for us, we have to be persistent. We have to have discipline. We often see this in introverted people. And adapting your communication to your prospect is another important thing. If you are an extrovert and you're very loud and you talk a lot all the time, and you're talking to someone who is an introvert, someone who sits more like this and, okay, they will not talk to you because you're so overwhelming as the extrovert. So good technology sales adapts the communication to the prospect. And that is oftentimes a skill that is found in introverts as well. That said, so if you hate talking to people, sales is probably not a great idea for you though. So if you really don't like to connect with anyone, I also do not recommend you to get into sales or technology sales. That's